Good morning, students. Hope you all fine and safe. And let us continue our next session. So the previous session we started to discuss regarding the two phylums. So one is phylum Nidaria, the another one is phylum Ctenophora, right? So in this class also we supposed to discuss two more phylums, right? Which is belongs to the kingdom Animalia, right? And the phylums are phylum Annelida as well as phylum Arthropoda, right? And let us discuss about these two phylums in detail, right? The first phylum is phylum Annelida. So first of all, we can look into some general characters regarding this phylum Annelida, and we can move to some specific features, right? Okay. The first one, habitat, the place where it used to live. So phylum Annelida is aquatic as well as terrestrial. So it used to live in both sides, aquatic as well as terrestrial, right? Then mode of life. Mode of life in the sense it will be either free life or it has parasitic life. So do you understand this difference between these two? So parasitic in the sense it used to live inside this another one organisms either outside or inside as a parasite. It used to depend that organism, the host organisms for its life. So that kind of this lifestyle only we used to say as parasitic, right? So free means it is not depending this another one organisms or host organism for its survival. It can live freely in its own, right? So both the types it needs to lead. Either it will be as a free type or parasitic type also. Clear? Then organization. As we said already, either cellular organization is there, tissue level organization is there, organ level organization is there, then organ system also there, right? So the advanced one is organ system. So here also phylum Annelida consists of organ system level of organization, right? Then symmetry is bilateral symmetry, right? Bilateral symmetry. So we could able to divide this body parts into two equal halves in only one direction is known as bilateral symmetry. Okay. Then germ layer is triploblastic, means the embryo consists of only three layers: ectoderm, mesoderm as well as innermost endoderm, right? Okay. Then xylem is a schizocoelomate type. What do you mean schizocoelom? Already eucoelomate, real coelom. True coelom we can say is a eucoelomate, that is two types, schizocoelomate as well as enterocoelomate. Here this coelom is schizocoelomate type. Is it clear? Okay. And the body segment, body arrangement is segmented type. Especially it is metamerism segment type is there, and let us see later and how the metameric segment will be arranged. Fine. So this is this few common features we have discussed now. Let us go on for this again the specific characters of each. Fine. Then this is few more general characters regarding the phylum Annelida. The first one is here again sex. So the sex is here monoecious type. What do you mean monoecious type? There is no separate male and the female organisms are there. Only single organism may possess this both male and the female reproductive organs. That type we can say as monoecious type, right? Example, earthworm we can say it's a monoecious type. But dioecious type also there. So both male and female separate organisms, right? Example, neer is leash. So these are all male and female is separate. Clear? Okay. And reproduction is sexual type of reproduction. So even monoecious type also sexual reproduction only may occur. So both male and female gamete will be produced and it unite together, right? So monoecious type also sexual reproduction. It used to unite with another one earthworm actually. Fine? Okay. Then respiratory pigment means the blood consists of respiratory pigment. So in our blood consists of RBC cell consists of the respiratory pigment is known as hemoglobin. Okay, and here phylum Annelida, the respiratory pigment, the blood consists of the respiratory pigment, that is two types. One is hemoglobin, another one is chlorochlorine. Hemoglobin as well as chlorochlorine, right? And here then the development will be as direct development or indirect developments. So direct means, as we said already, the zygote will be produced. So from the zygote the young will be produced. So what do you mean indirect? Indirect in the sense a zygote becomes a larva. Larva will be modified as an adult. That is indirect. Okay. And the name of the larva of Annelida, phylum Annelida, is known as trochophore larva. Trochophore larva. Is it clear? Okay. Yeah, this is the first character we said as a metamerism. So metamerism in the sense, the body of this animal is divided equally throughout the length of this body, right? So this division will be there externally as well as internally. The division is leading internally also. Can you watch this figure? Not only outside the division is there, the same division is leading inside also. So there is a cross wall is there between this each segments. Can you watch? That cross wall is known as septa. That only marked there as septa, right? So this repeated division is there throughout this body of this animal, and this division is leading inside the body also through the cross wall known as a septa. So this type of this division is known as metamerism. Clear? This is one of the major character of phylum Annelida. Clear? So this muscular system. So the body, outermost region, body wall is there. After the body wall, inside it consists of muscle. Okay, and there is two types of muscle is there. The first one is circular muscle and the second one is longitudinal muscle. So can you differentiate both the figure there? The first one they mentioned circular muscle. In the second figure they mentioned longitudinal muscle. So these two muscle is useful for the locomotion. Okay. So when the first figure listen, when the circular muscle contract, the body become lengthen. So below that the figure is given, the body is become lengthen when the circular muscle contracts. Can you watch in the next figure? When longitudinal muscle contract, the body is becoming flattened. Okay, so alternatively it used to flat and lengthen. So flat and lengthen. So by this movement it could able to move. Understand? So this muscular system is helping for this movement, locomotion. Fine. Then hydrostatic skeleton. So of course in our body also for the movement we can say skeletal system as well as muscular system. Both is needed for the movement of the body, right? The same here also, muscular system also helping, meanwhile skeletal system also helping. Here the skeleton is flexible type and it is filled with the fluid. That's why they say it is water. So hydrostatic skeleton. It is a flexible type, not hard skeleton like our skeleton. Understand? And can you watch here? And the outermost region is wall. Then there's two types of muscle is there. One is longitudinal muscle and the straight line, and the second one is a circular muscle and the cyclical shape is given. In the center gut is there, that is digestive system. So in between this digestive system and this body wall there is a fluid. So that fluid only they say as a hydrostatic skeleton, right? So when this muscles contract, as we said, circular muscle as well as this longitudinal muscle contract, this skeleton also supporting for this one, this hydrostatic skeleton also supporting. So that's why they say this hydrostatic skeleton also helping for this movement of this body, right? So this is regarding the locomotory organ for this phylum Annelida. In case of this Nereis, it consists of one hard plate around its body with lateral appendages. Can you watch the first figure? There's a lateral appendages are there. So lateral means it is in either sides. So this hard plate is known as parapodia. So with the help of this parapodia, this knee is used to locomote, right? Then the second figure is earthworm. So earthworm, if you look at this earthworm body cleanly, we can watch this uh, hair-like projections. That is known as actually setae. With the help of this setae, earthworm used to move, locomote, right? And this last one is leech. So the leech consists of the sucker, and with the help of this sucker, this leech used to locomote, right? So in case of this phylum Annelida, the main locomotory organ we could say is as a parapodia or setae or sucker, right? Okay. So the next one is regarding this nervous system as well as circulatory system, right? So both we could explain in the same figure. If you look at this picture, we can understand their white color mark is regarding this nervous system and the red color tube is regarding this circulatory system. Okay. So our nervous system we consist of this brain, spinal cord as well as this nerve tract, right? So almost like the same here. Can you watch this brain which is marked there in this and in this head region? So here this brain is actually it's a primitive type. That's why it is mentioned as actually a ganglion, right? Ganglion. And from the ganglion again there is a knot-like structure is there for each appendages with a yellow color. That is known as actually nerve cord, subganglion. So from this subganglion again nerves used to arise, right? It is supplied to throughout this body, right? That is regarding this nervous system. In case of this circulatory system, and can you watch in this dorsal side one blood vessel is moving, one long blood vessel is there. Meanwhile in this ventral side also in the red color one long blood vessel is there, right? So dorsal side blood vessel is moving forward and ventral side blood vessel is moving backward direction, okay? And between these two, this dorsal blood vessel as well as the ventral vessel is connected by this hearts. So this heart is known as actually lateral hearts. So the blood is moving through this blood vessels and through this heart, and from that it is supplied to throughout this body, right? So since the blood is moving inside this blood vessel, of course this type of blood circulation we can say as this closed type circulatory system. Fine. And this is few examples for phylum Annelida. The first figure is Nereis, the second figure is earthworm, and the third figure is leech. Okay, so this is the very familiar examples for phylum Annelida, right? And let us go on to this next phylum which we have to discuss today is phylum Arthropoda, right? Okay. So the next phylum is phylum Arthropoda. So first we can look into this, some general characters, right? Actually, one information we have to say regarding this phylum Arthropoda is phylum Arthropoda is one of the largest phylum among all the phylums of kingdom Animalia. It is one of the largest phylum, and moreover, this Arthropoda consists of the class that is known as Insecta. So all the insects belongs to this class class Insecta. It's one of the largest class also, right? Okay. So now let us go on few general characters regarding this phylum Arthropoda. The first one is regarding habitat. Of course, it used to live on this land, so it is terrestrial type, right? Then organization is, it is one of the advanced type organization is there, that is organ system level of organization, right? And symmetry is bilateral symmetry. Clear? Then germ layer is triploblastic type. Of course, 3 germinal layer will be there, right? Then coelom is schizoscoelomate type. Okay. Then body form is segmented type. But this segmentation is not like this earthworm. Earthworm already we have discussed. This is this metameric type because this repeated segment will be there throughout this body. And not only that, the segments is leading, the division is leading outside as well as interior to the body also. Clear? That is metamerism we said. But here also segment is there, but it is unequal in size, right? Okay. And the next one is sex. Actually, it is a dioecious type. Means here male and female is separate, and it is producing the male and female gamete also, right? Okay. So that's why, of course, the reproduction is sexual reproduction. Clear? And the development is either it is indirect type or direct type. So directly the zygote, from the zygote embryo will be produced, from the embryo the young one will be formed. But in indirect type, this zygote will be converted into larva, and from the larva, adult one will be formed, right? Okay, this is some general characters, and let us go on regarding the specific niches of this phylum Arthropoda. The first one is regarding body divisions. So the body is divided as 3 divisions. So this is cockroach is one of this example for phylum Arthropoda. Here the body is divided as 3 divisions. So the head is marked as a head region, then the chest region is marked as a thoracic division, and rest of this part till this anus we can say as abdominal region. So the body divisions are head, thorax as well as abdomen. Fine. Then joint appendages. Joint appendages is one of this very important character for phylum Arthropoda. So the leg will be as a joint, it consists of the joint appendages, right? So what is this functions of this joint appendages? So of course the first function we can say is it is used for locomotion. Then it is useful for feeding purpose. So with the help of these appendages, it used to capture this prey, and it used to feed. So that's why it is useful for feeding also. And of course it is for performing as one of the sense organ. It could feel the sense also, right? So that's a specific character of this phylum Arthropoda. Then the next one is chitinous exoskeleton. So our exoskeleton is skin, right? The same like phylum Arthropods, the for insects, outer one exoskeleton is there. That is made up of chitin, right? So that's why it is known as chitinous exoskeleton. So what is the purpose of this exoskeleton? The first purpose, of course, it is protecting the body. So the protecting this inner body, right? And the second one, it is used to prevent the water loss. So water will not be wasted from the body because this layer is protecting it from the water loss. Okay, but this exoskeleton will be removed during metamorphosis or during this life cycle, right? The removal of this exoskeleton periodically is known as either molting, or we can say as ecdysis. It is known as molting or ecdysis. The figure which is displayed here is clearly shows how it is removing this exoskeleton from its body, right? Okay. Then respiratory organs. So in case of this phylum Arthropoda, few varieties of respiratory organs are there. So few is displayed here. So the first figure, in some case, in some kind of these insects, book lungs. The name of this respiratory organ is book lungs. Okay, through this book lungs it used to breathe. And the next one is internal gills, or we can say as book gills also. So with the help of gills it used to respire. Okay, and for few insects trachea is there. Trachea is a respiratory organ. Fine. Then it's regarding the circulation. In case of this, insects or arthropoda, the circulation is open type. So what do you mean open type? There is no specific blood vessel is there to carry the blood. Okay. So in the body, the center one cavity is there. The name of this cavity is known as hemocoel. Okay. So in the hemocoel only the blood used to move, right? And this is mentioned as an open circulatory system. So the heart chambers are there. So central one heart is there and the heart is made up of the chambers, but there is no blood vessels. So in the center only or in the hemocoel only, the colorless blood used to move, right? That is a open circulatory system. The next one is regarding the sense organs. So sense organs means in case of the insects, several sense organs are there. Example, we can say as the antenna. So the insects consist of this antenna. The antenna is one of the sense organ, right? And the eye, especially in insects, we can say this eye as a compound eye because it's a group of these eyes, not a single eye, group of eye performing as one function. That is compound eye. So the compound eye also one of the sense organ. Then another one sense organ is statocyst. Statocyst. Actually, it is a sense organ which is useful for maintaining the body balance, right? Okay, so these are all these sense organs of phylum Arthropoda. Clear? And next one is regarding this excretion. So excretory organ also, various excretory organs are there. So the first figure, it is explained regarding this Malpighian tubules is an excretory organ for some kind of this insects or arthropods, right? Malpighian tubules. The second figure explains regarding this green glands. Can you watch this green color? So this green gland is useful to eliminate this waste. That's why it is known as it is one of this excretory organ. Then one more excretory organ also they used to say it is a coxal glands. Coxal glands also one performing as a excretory gland, right? Okay. Metamorphosis is one of this very important character of this phylum Arthropods, especially for phylum insects we can say, right? And what do you mean this metamorphosis? So these kind of these organisms used to go for one life cycle to complete one life cycle, one path to complete one life cycle. That is known as metamorphosis. It used to pass through various stages, right? So for example, if you take one butterfly, adult butterfly used to lay the eggs, right? Then afterwards, these eggs, fertilized egg, used to become as a larva, right? Then larva is developing as a pupa, and of course the pupa develop as a adult butterfly. Again, this butterfly is going to lay the eggs. So this one complete life cycle of this insect is known as metamorphosis. Okay, so the insect used to pass through this metamorphosis life cycle, right? And here we explain about this few examples of phylum Arthropoda. The first one is scorpion, and second one cockroach, and third one spider, and the fourth one is butterfly. So when we look this one, we can get the doubt, entirely different organisms, but how could be it coming under the same phylum, right? So scorpion also phylum Arthropoda, butterfly also phylum Arthropoda. Here phylum Arthropoda consists of various classes. So scorpion is one class and the butterfly is another one class, right? So these are all the spider is one class, right? So very few examples for phylum Arthropoda, right? So I hope we can complete this session here, and the rest of the things we can say in the next class. So before that, we can go for some assignments regarding today's session. Hope you have completed this previous assignments also. Keep touch in every classes, right? Okay. So assignments, the first question is asked us, what is metamerism? So what is metamerism? So in phylum Annelids, this repeated division, the divisions will be repeated throughout the body. The same divisions will be repeated, right? So this kind of this division or segmentation is known as metamerism, right? Then list out the locomotory organ of annelids. Annelids, what are the locomotory organs are there? Parapodia, setae or suckers. So these are all we could say as locomotory organs. Okay. Then mention the respiratory pigment of annelids. What is the respiratory pigment is there? Hemoglobin as well as chlorochlorine. Right. Okay. Then what is ecdysis? What is ecdysis? Phylum Arthropods. The insects used to remove its outer exoskeleton periodically during its metamorphosis process, that is known as ecdysis. Right? Then mention the excretory organs of arthropods. So excretory organs, we can say Malpighian tubules, green glands and coxal glands. These are all excretory organs. List out the sense organs of arthropods. Antenna, compound eye, statocyst. These are all sense organs, right? Then and list out this respiratory organs of arthropods. What are the respiratory organs are there? Book lungs, book gills, right? Trachea. So these are all the respiratory organs of phylum Arthropoda, right? So please go through these assignments and make the notes, and please learn something. And next phylums we can discuss in the next class, right? Under this, stay home and stay safely and pray well, dear students. We can meet in the next session. Fine. Thank you. Thank you, students.